This video is about HTML images. As we know, images can improve the design and the appearance of a web page. Now the syntax for HTML images is this. The HTML image tag is used to embed an image in a web page. Images are not technically inserted into a web page. Images are linked to web pages. The image tag creates a holding space for the referenced image. The image tag is empty, it contains attributes only and does not have a closing tag. The image tag has two required attributes, source attribute and the alt attribute. Source attribute specifies the path to the image and alt attribute specifies an alternate text for the image. The required source attribute specifies the path or URL to the image. Now when a web page loads, it is the browser at that moment that gets the image from a web server and inserts it into the page. Therefore, make sure that the image actually stays in the same spot in relation to the web page. Otherwise, your visitors will get a broken link icon. The broken link icon and the alt text are shown if the browser cannot find the image. The required alt attribute provides an alternate text for an image if the user for some reason cannot view it, maybe because of slow connection, an error in the source attribute, or if the user uses a screen reader. The value of the alt attribute should describe the image. If a browser cannot find an image, it will display the value of the alt attribute. So I will show you an example so that you get a clear idea of how to use image tag in your HTML file. So as you can see in the body section, I have included multiple images. So in the first paragraph, I've used image tag and inside that I've written source attribute and I've given the URL of an image, and in the alt attribute I've written smiley which describes this image. So I've given the URL of this particular image. So on the browser, the first image displays the first paragraph which we just saw. So you should also specify the size of the image. You can use the style attribute to specify the width and height of an image. Alternatively, you can also use the width and height attributes. So in the second paragraph, again I have given the same URL in the source attribute, and in the style attribute I have specified width and height for the image. Now width and height are properties and 200 pixels and 200 pixels are the values of those properties. So, alternatively, you can also use width and height attributes. Now the width and height attributes always define the width and height of the image in pixels. That is why you cannot see any units over here, because pixels is the default unit for width and height attributes. So on the browser, the second paragraph displays style attribute and the third paragraph displays width and height attributes. Now it is very important to give the correct URL in the source attribute. So over here I have included an image which is stored in a folder named images. So over here, as you can see, in this folder named HTML images, there is an HTML file, a GIF and an image named smiley, and there's another folder named images, and inside this folder there's an image named book. So I have to display this image on the browser. So in order to do that, first you have to write the name of the folder, then slash, and then name of the image. So on the browser, as you can see, this image will appear. which is stored in a folder named images. So that is how you can use images which are saved in another folder. Then you can also use images on another server or website. So this particular paragraph displays an image which is there on another server or website. So you just have to Google any image that you want to display on the browser and then copy the image address and simply paste it in the source attribute, and that is how you can use that image in your HTML file.
Here's the top search result.
Now, external images might be under copyright. If you do not get permission to use it, you may be in violation of copyright laws. In addition, you cannot control external images. It can suddenly be removed or changed. So be careful about that. Then you can also use animated images. So in this paragraph, I've used a GIF, this particular GIF. So simply you have to copy the correct path in the source attribute. So as you can see, this particular GIF is saved in the same folder as the HTML file. So I don't have to specify the folder name. I simply have to write the name of the animated image, and then the rest everything remains the same, that is the alt attribute and the style attribute. And this is how it looks on the browser. So this is the GIF and this is the image which I copied from Google. Then you can also use image as a link. We have already discussed this in the HTML links video. So what happens is, when you click on this image, it will take you to the link that you have provided in the href attribute. So over here in the href attribute, I have given the link of Google, and in the source attribute I have given the path of the image. Again, the alt attribute will describe the image and the style attribute will specify the size of the image. So that is how you can use an image as a link. Lastly, we have floating images. So it uses the CSS float property to let the image float to the right or to the left of the text. So you can simply follow this syntax. So in the source attribute, you give the path of the image or an animated image. Then in the alt attribute, you write the description, a short description for the image. Then in style attribute, for the size of the image, you will write width and height, and in order to specify image floating, you have to use the property float, and in value you can write right or left. So in this paragraph, I have written value as right, and in this paragraph I have included value as left. And on the browser, as you can see, in this paragraph, on the right side there's a GIF, and for the last paragraph there's a GIF on the left side. So that is all you need to know about HTML images. Thank you.